when you're working with text in Pixlr, it's very thin, very small, doesn't stand out, and just doesn't look very good. Luckily, there are a few ways to easily fix that. First of all, click on your text tool and then click where you want to put your text. It's going to ask if you want a new text layer, and of course you do. Type whatever you want. In this case, I'm making a magazine called Lawyer Monthly. And again, notice how small that is. Now, I have it matched to the color of his tie, which is fine. You can use your fill color. You can use the color select tool, and you can do that right from here. So if I want to change that color around a little bit, I can easily do that and then go from there. First thing you can do, of course, is change the font. Pick something that is going to be thicker and more bold. So this one's premium, so I can't use that. Use this Brooklyn here. Sure. Then you can, of course, change your size. Those things, they're not going to be much different than any other app that we've used so far this year. But where you really get into some better options is when you get into your styles over here. So you can include a curve if you want to. So you can put in a circle, half circle, arc. Depends on how many words you have. In this case, it didn't really do much. You can give it some arc there. I want to wrap it around his head. That looks bad, so I'm not going to do that. But there are some times where that might come in handy. So I'm going to turn off the curve. Background might be useful sometimes. In this case, it's going to cover up his head, so I don't really like that at all. Outline. Probably going to be my best bet because that's going to make it much easier to read my text. Otherwise, you can't really do that. And shadow, which I like to use often just to give some depth to my text. So pull that shadow out a little bit there. And sometimes you have to zoom in to see it a little bit better. I'm actually going to turn that off and go back to the outline. Leave that the way it was. Now, it's still a little bit small. So I'm going to show you something else that you can do to improve that text. So if you right click or two finger click on your text, you can also do this by going to the layer menu. You're going to choose rasterize layer. And rasterizing a layer, essentially in this case a text layer, makes it into a regular image. Before you do that, you're going to want to make sure that you have everything spelled correctly and in the spacing that you want it to be. So now that it's a regular image, now that it's rasterized, I can go to Edit, and I can free transform that. I have to select it first. And free transform. And now I can stretch it out. Okay. Like so. And now I have much better looking text than I did before. Once again, you can create your text, and then once you do, you can use the settings, which are called styles up here, and you can rasterize it to stretch it out and make it look much better. And if you want to take things to the next level, you could even, and I'm just going to quickly do this here. This is completely optional, but I'm going to use my lasso. I'm just going to create a copy of his head. Copy, paste, and then I'm just going to move it on top and match that up with the original and put it on top of my text. And then I would just erase around that. Again, this completely optional. Sorry, I just need to grab my eraser. There we go. And then you'll be able to see the whole head and the text over top of that. And I would want to match that up better. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.